Chris, thank you. Tomorrow, Greenville County leaders will decide the fate of the county's 2026 budget. They're going to vote on funding for salaries, affordable housing, and much more.
And one of those topics that has been contested is money for Greenville Transit. Our Nate Stanley joins us live from where the meeting will happen tomorrow with those details. And Nate, the future of GreenLink is up for debate.
Well, that's right. Councilman Steve Shaw has proposed an amendment that would cut money for public transit by $3 million. Supporters of the public transit system say that wouldn't just impact people now, but it would do so in the future.
If transit was reduced or the county reduced its portion, not only would the system be decimated and collapse, but all of those people would be left at home.
A stark outlook for the future of transit in Greenville County, according to Erin Predmore with Greenville Connects. She says without a proper public transit system, thousands of people would struggle to live a normal life.
A little over 50% of riders are going to work. Around 25 to 30% are going to educational opportunities. And so you think about that, that's 80% of the riders are going to not be either earning a living or having an opportunity to gain more education so that they can do better in their lives.
Her fears come as Greenville County Council is reconsidering its next budget. Last week, Councilman Steve Shaw submitted a proposal that would drop the funding by nearly 80% in favor of a paratransit system.
We're just chasing after something that doesn't work. But what I would say, it's $3.5 million right now. I would say cut that down to $500,000.
Predmore says if that money is pooled, the system would not be able to run as it requires money from federal, county, and city sources.
If that goes away, then it will both reduce federal funding because it will no longer have the necessary match, and it will reduce the services then that will require for us to have, which will then also result in less fares because less people will be riding because there'll be less places for it to go.
After a budget workshop last week, Council Chairman Benton Blunt said funding GreenLink is important for him and many in Greenville County.
I do have problems with the transit system as far as the size of the buses, and a lot of that's a federal issue. So what I'm hoping, and I do support funding it currently, is that we can work on solutions to be more efficient in transit moving forward, which I think will ultimately help transit out in general.
And Nate, before you go, what are some of the other proposals the county will hear tomorrow?
Well, Rashad, Councilman Ennis Fant is hoping to see more money allocated for affordable housing after that took a hit after the initial proposed budget. And during last week's budget workshop, multiple council members seemed on board with a possible 6% increase to the salaries of public safety employees. Of course, none of this is official until tomorrow. Reporting in Greenville, Nate Stanley, WIFF News 4.